I've been coming for 10 years, and I've never seen a pass like that in my life. I literally thought we were going to be taken out by the Blue Angels, but it was amazing. That's exactly how I want to go if it happens.
I'm going to remember that for probably the rest of my life.
While thrilling to the crowd, it may have violated FAA rules. According to FAA, all Blue Angel aircraft must stay 500 feet above spectators, buildings, roads, and vehicles unless they have a special waiver. That must be approved by the Flight Standards District Office inspector in charge for the air show. The Blue Angels did release a statement about the low altitude pass. They say safety is their highest priority. The Blues say they will conduct a thorough review to ensure all operations met FAA and Navy safety standards. We have that full statement for you on our website.
All right, Aria, we want to ask you a couple questions because you were there and because this has obviously gone viral. It has been reported in the national media and it's been reported by a lot of folks that are from here. You were there. What was the immediate reaction of the crowd?
Immediate reaction when the jet first came by and over the beach, over top of the people on the beach, was pure shock and excitement. I mean, people were very excited to be there and see it. And then seconds later, all of the beach tents and stuff flew up into the sky.
I would guess many of the beachgoers and other people kind of say no harm, no foul. But I'm guessing the U.S. Navy doesn't quite look at it that way.
Probably not. I mean, we don't want this to happen again and there do be a foul. So I think that's what they're looking at it. They're going to review it and follow protocol as they see fit.
All right, well, we will see what comes out as they continue their investigation. Thank you so much for the first-hand reporting. Nothing like it.
A lot of people commenting on it, of course, especially on our social media. Many of them say they were on the beach and shared their take on that incident. Tommy says, I said this last year when the Blues flew just over the top of the pier. There are hundreds of people on the beach, and if one of those jets happens to ingest a seabird, there can be a serious accident. Maybe fly a little higher.
Regina writes, you know, there are 2 sea turtle nests right there. Not cool.
And from Scott, shocks beachgoers, but in a good way. I love the Blues.
And finally, Tyler writes, if I'm paying over $100 to park, I want this every time.
We'd like to know what you think, of course. How do you feel specifically about the national news coverage of this particular event? Has it been fair and accurate, or has it been exaggerated or disconnected?
We will share those results with you tomorrow morning, so definitely we'd love to hear from you on that one. Congressman Jimmy Patronis says he will be attending the Pensacola Beach Air Show, among many, many people that we recognize around the community.
He says he's excited to see the Blues, and he also has a gift for the team from the president.
I got chills just telling you this. The Blue Angels are such a huge part of the pride of Northwest Florida and Congressional District 1 and the United States Navy. So, you know, we're going to celebrate the skills and gifts of those amazing men and women. I've got a little surprise that I got from the president that I'm going to present to them Friday night. So, again, looking forward to having a wonderful family-filled weekend celebrating America and our Navy.
So a quick reminder of what the rest of the week is going to look like. Today is the practice flight. That is just the Blue Angels, and that happens at 2 p.m.
Friday, the full dress rehearsal with the civilian acts, and that all begins at 10:30. Saturday, the official day of the air show. That's the same schedule as Friday. As always, the Blues fly at 2 o'clock.
If you didn't commit it to memory, no problem. Just hit WEARTV.com. We have all the info there for you. Search Pensacola Beach Air Show. And a reminder, we've got full coverage tomorrow. Brooke, Jared, and Aria all live at the beach beginning at 4:30.
Know what I'm bringing with me?
I have no idea. Hydration, water, sunscreen.
And lots of it.
Yes.
Water, 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 water.
Because, as we understand from meteorologist Brooke Richardson, it ain't exactly going to be cool out there.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very hot. We do have your temperatures back in the mid-90s by this afternoon, and we will have temperatures feeling like the triple digits today, up to about 107 as we head into your weekend. So those heat index values are going to be very high, so you want to stay safe in that heat. Outside of that, looking lovely for the Blues. You do have your radar staying nice and calm this morning. Temperatures are already in the 70s though, so it's going to be the heat that's going to be the main story if you are heading out there. Anywhere between the mid upper 70s, even seeing some 80s along the coastline. Winds currently more out of the north, very calm wind though. We're not looking at too much of a breeze. If you are heading out, seeing the Blues fly today, going to that practice, you can expect temperatures to be hovering around the mid 90s. It again will feel like 100. Sunny skies, mostly sunny on Friday and Saturday. We do have about a 40% chance of rain. It does look like that's going to be later into your day. We'll continue to watch that for you. We'll track it out for you in just a bit, but you can see those temperatures. Quite a hot forecast for the Blues.
We've had one issue for a fair amount of time this morning on the Escambia Bay Bridge eastbound traffic. There was a vehicle fire early this morning, and the cleanup process is continuing, getting traffic down to very, very slow. So if that's part of your morning drive, either just simply be aware, be patient, or find another way.
And if you're listening in your car, it is 7:06. President Donald Trump set to deliver a primetime speech today. He's
going to revisit a topic he's talked about before, and that's elections. The president says that'll be the focus of his speech and some other things as well.
When he first announced the speech on Monday, a lot of people assumed he would be focusing on the Iran war. But instead, sources say he plans to concentrate on voting machine security and alleged foreign efforts to influence elections.
The election integrity has been one of his talking points for quite some time since he lost 2020 to Joe Biden. Meanwhile, the midterms are coming right around the corner.
All right, bringing it back to Northwest Florida now. One of the largest private investment projects in the history of Pensacola is moving forward.
How about this? Reverb by Hard Rock will be a hotel, apartments, and dining complex right in front of Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Just the hotel portion of this project is expected to generate about $563 million over 15 years. Now, the whole project cost is pegged at about $310 million. Developers say Reverb by Hard Rock Pensacola have, however, pulled their request for a city tax abatement, and that is a big deal.
This happened after the Community Redevelopment Agency rejected that $2.9 million per year tax abatement for 20 years.
Mayor D.C. Reeves says about half of these apartment units would qualify as affordable housing under the state's Live Local Act.
$310 million project it has significant complexity and significant risk, financial risk. And that's what makes projects like this so hard to have happen, and frankly why it is relatively unprecedented here. These are hard to put together, hard to get financed, hard to get to execution. So I absolutely appreciate the risks that are associated with that, and we certainly look forward to the future of the project.
Well, the mayor says we will see construction begin after the Blue Wahoos finish up the season. Likely, he says, starting with work on temporary parking lots rather than the vertical construction of the buildings.
Reverb by Hard Rock on track to open in 2029, and you're already sharing your thoughts with us. More than a dozen people offering some comments on social media. Arlene says, this is horrible.
And Randy asked the question, let me guess, no free parking?
Keep them coming. We always love your comments and your photos. Get those in now to see them on the show. Use the Chime In tab. You can find that on the website or the mobile.
In a minute or so, we'll talk about some new information regarding that downtown Pensacola shooting that killed one person and shook up the 4th of July crowds. Police now revealing what they believe was the motive.
And one person was killed, 2 others injured in a crash last night between a moped and a motorcycle. We've got details coming in about that crash.
However your day is going, I'm just taking a guess it can be enhanced even by just a little bit with a cup of coffee.
Cheers. Let's take a coffee break.
Cheers. Pensacola Police Chief Eric Winstrom says the motive behind the downtown Pensacola shooting is, quote, something as petty as disrespect.
Monday, police arrested 16-year-old Kanye Walker in connection to the shooting. He is charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a minor.
Now, the chief says Walker will be charged as an adult, saying that surveillance video shows Walker handing a gun to Nicholas Safford just before the July 5th shooting.
And Safford, by the way, was denied bond Tuesday for his role in the shooting.
As you saw in testimony provided by a detective on scene, that PJ's hands were in the air when he was, right before he was killed. And the motive is something as petty as disrespect. There's no more impactful, there's no explanation that's going to make sense for the family of Philip Shepard Jr., but we know that his mom and those who love him are looking for those answers.
WEAR has requested surveillance video from the state attorney's office, and we are still waiting to hear back.
After some concern, of course, Pensacola police are ramping up patrols downtown for gallery night. That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, PPD says there will be more than 70 officers patrolling the streets in and out of uniform until further notice.
Reassuring people they are committed to preventing another act of violence and saying everyone should feel safe to enjoy downtown Pensacola.
Moving on, 6 people, including 3 children, were taken to the hospital after a crash in Escambia County.
This happened about 4:45 yesterday, Lillian Highway at Miramar Drive. Details aren't entirely clear, but we do understand one patient was flown to the hospital as a trauma alert, another taken as a trauma alert by ambulance. 3 children, 1 additional adult, all taken by ambulance to the hospital, conditions unknown.
We will keep you updated as we learn more. A man is dead and 2 others injured after a motorcycle and a moped collided in Escambia County.
This crash happened 5:15 yesterday evening, New Warrington Road and Chiefs Way. FHP says the rider of the moped died at the scene. His passenger seriously injured.
Now, the person on the motorcycle, they tell us, was also seriously injured, both taken to the hospital. And as you wake up this morning, troopers are still investigating that one.
Most people in the world have seen the weather events across the country affecting a large section of the USA.
This is a live shot from Toronto, Canada right now. The smoke hanging heavy in the air as Canada continues to contend with all of those wildfires. That smoke is extending into the Midwest and the northeastern United States as well.
The water bombers and helicopters deployed to fight more than 180 wildfires in Canada. Smoke from those fires turning the sky orange all the way from Toronto to Niagara Falls, even east to Boston.
The smoke also heavy in Michigan, and that is spreading from fires which are burning in Minnesota's Superior National Forest. Officials warning some fires there could keep burning for months.
Air quality alerts are now issued across more than a dozen states. That with a heat wave. Officials are warning people to limit their time outdoors.
Goodness gracious.
In Central Texas, they're dealing with more rain than they've ever had in a matter of days.
Yeah, they said that more than half a year's rain has fallen in the last few days, and that rising water has been terrible. People trapped in their homes and in their cars. Around the state, they have now activated about 1,300 personnel from more than 30 agencies.
800 vehicles deployed, 75 boats, 20 aircraft, a disaster declaration in 59 counties. Dozens of people so far have been rescued.
Yeah, Governor Greg Abbott says this is more rain than the flooding the state saw last year, which, as you recall, was also horrible. Also, a tornado touched down in San Antonio. We crossed a busy interstate there, sparking power lines. And overnight, officials warned this threat is not over. Sadly, there is more rain in the forecast.
Well, there we go. It's all set. The World Cup final is set for Sunday.
I'm just going to watch for a minute. Yeah, very sentimental for everybody involved. And now we are so excited for that final match. It's going to be good.
All right, let's talk about us and the Heat.
Yeah, it's going to be hot out there. So if you are heading out to the beach trying to see the Blues practice this afternoon, just make sure you're prepared for very, very hot temperatures. Mid-90s is what we're going to have today. And it is going to feel more like 100. And we could get as high as 107 with those heat index values as we head into the weekend. So extremely hot start to your weekend. We're seeing that nice calm start over our radar though, so we do have lots of sunshine for the Blues. It's just going to be a hot one, so just prepare for that. Small little rain chance in the afternoon, not too likely today. Same thing on Friday, mostly sunny skies. Can't rule out a light sprinkle, but it's not likely. Saturday will actually bring in a bit of a higher rain chance. It is going to be later into the day, however. You can see your morning, afternoon, we should see mostly calm skies. After about 3 p.m. is where we will start to bring some rain chances in. Showers, thunderstorms, some heavy rain mixed in here. We will have your rain chances a bit higher going into your evening hours on Saturday, and we'll keep your rain chances around on Sunday as well. So just keeping an eye on that as we head into your weekend, but we should still have some decent weather for the Blues. So again, heading out there today, maybe you're going to wait till Friday, Saturday. It's looking nice. We do have temperatures in the 90s, mid-90s for your highs, and it is going to feel like the triple digits. There's going to be that isolated rain chance on Saturday at about a 40% chance of rain. Let's talk temperatures now. Hot, mid upper 70s right now. We even see some 80s. It's going to be in the mid 90s today. Now with the humidity, mid 90s, going to feel more like 99 to about 103. We'll see your heat index values on your Friday get as high as 105 to about 107. So again, very, very hot weather for your Blue Angels show. You want to stay extremely safe in that heat. Make sure you're just checking in with yourself, staying hydrated in that type of heat. As for the tropics, a couple of areas that we are watching for tropical development, both with a low chance of formation. We're going to see a low form right off the coast of the Florida Big Bend by this weekend. It'll move towards the northeast where it does have about a 20% chance of some gradual formation over your week ahead. And then we're watching this wave coming off the coast of Africa with a 10% chance of formation. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook with the Blues. We do have some nice weather with temperatures getting into the mid to upper 90s for your highs. It is going to feel very hot. We will be seeing your temperatures feeling more like the triple digits. We are going to have some rain that we could see Saturday. Now again, after about 3 p.m. is looking like the timing for that rain chance, so just keep that in mind. We should still see lots of sunshine to enjoy the Blues. By Sunday, we'll see about a 40% chance of that rain. Still very hot with 96 degrees, so we're still staying in those mid upper 90s, and we'll stay in the mid 90s for next week.
We have a continuing traffic issue this morning. A big rig fire on the Escambia Bay Bridge eastbound. It happened about 12:30 this morning. FHP says the fire was so intense it caused damage to the concrete barrier on the bridge. As you can see, traffic is going very, very slowly on the Escambia Bay Bridge. That is eastbound. We understand the truck driver, a 35-year-old from Mexico, was not injured, but keep that in mind if it's part of your morning commute.
A disgraced R&B singer adding his name to the list of people asking President Trump for a get-out-of-jail-free card. How's that going for R. Kelly? We will have an update for you straight ahead. Disgraced R&B singer R. Kelly now requesting a little help from the Trump White House.
If I was in prison, I'd ask too. Why not? You know, worst they can tell you is no. The 58-year-old formally asking the president to commute his 30-year sentence.
Yeah, he's behind bars in North Carolina for his 2021 and 2022 convictions on sex trafficking, racketeering, child pornography, and enticement charges.
The White House has said nothing so far.
Yeah, at this point, Kelly did file for an immediate release last year, claiming his life was in danger. That didn't work out. An attorney also made a public plea for a presidential pardon, but that was never formally filed.
All right, he's back again. George Santos, former congressman, disgraced. He's got a new, oh my goodness, reality TV show contestant.
I figure you know more about reality shows than I do, a little bit.
I've never heard of this, but he's joined the cast of Fox Special Forces World's Toughest Test for season 5.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that one. I'm trying to think who was leading that charge. Anyway, in the show, participants are subjected to military-themed challenges in the Malaysian jungle. So Santos is going up against a dozen other contestants, including NBA champion Matt Barnes.
World champion boxer Alicia Baumgartner, plus a host of reality TV personalities, actors, and athletes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the challenges include claustrophobic search of an underground bunker, chemical gassing, and a supply load retrieval while suspended 300 feet above the jungle floor.
And you don't have to pay me to do that. It would be so much. I don't know what they're paying him, but of course, a little backstory on George Santos. He was expelled from Congress while facing criminal charges for stealing from campaign donors and lying to Congress.
He went to prison and was eventually pardoned by the president, reported to federal authorities by Kalshi last month. The prediction marketplace accuses him of fixing a bet on whether or not he'd attend a State of the Union address. Now, the thing about the reality show, I'll just say this because I believe it's true, you know, they put them in danger. No, they don't. There's no real danger.
I don't know. They're in the Malaysian jungle, Jared.
Okay.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. This is true. I take it.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
All right, a local option sales tax for Escambia County headed to a ballot box near you. We'll talk about, well, how good it might be. Other people don't agree. We'll talk about it, of course.
Not. Oh, you know who was doing
At 7:29, we have breaking news in the shooting death of Philip Shepard. Philip Shepard, that happened in downtown Pensacola on July the 5th.
Now, this is all coming in as we speak. Here's what we know so far. Pensacola police say they were working to serve a warrant for Shepard's murder at Oakwood Terrace on Truman Avenue about 5:30 this morning. And the police say before they could go inside, gunshots were fired inside the apartment. None of those shots fired by police.
Pensacola police say once they got inside the apartment, they found the suspect deceased. They aren't releasing too many details at the moment, including the suspect's name. We do know that no officers were injured in this event.
We do have a crew on the way right now, so we will keep you updated as we get more information. But let's go back and give you the background of this investigation. Previously arrested, Nicholas Safford of Daphne. He is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and other weapons charges, and right now he's being held without bond.
Lillian Myers of Pensacola has been charged with accessory after the fact and tampering with evidence, and she is out on bond.
Again, this is a developing story, and we will bring you updates just as soon as they are available. Local leaders across Northwest Florida, some of them sounding the alarm about the local option sales tax, which is up for a vote this year.
They would say the impact would be detrimental if the 1-cent sales tax goes away. In Pensacola, over the last 10 years, $108 million in local option sales tax, lost if you will, has gone towards city improvements.
Lost money either partially or fully funds projects like the Fricker Center, the infrastructure and public safety improvements around town. That's what the money is designated for.
November 3, voters will choose to keep it or let it go away. Local voters first approved the 1-cent sales tax way back in 1992.
And then the majority voted to renew that tax every single time that has been on the ballot since. We asked Pensacola Mayor D.C. Reeves, as well as Escambia County Commissioner Mike Kohler, exactly what's at stake right now.
I wouldn't even know where to begin if that, but it would be it would certainly be a huge hit to public safety in the city, and it would be a huge hit to infrastructure and our parks.
The thing that worries me is both ballot 3 and the local option sales tax passes. If both of those were to pass, be shortchanged about $140 million out of the budget.
Now, the current 1-cent sales tax will continue to be collected through December of 2028. The latest referendum would extend to 10 years, all the way through December of 2038.
More than 80 people commenting on our socials about this one. Let's start with Scott. Look, I completely hate taxes as much as anyone, but how does any rational person expect infrastructure, education, law enforcement, fire departments, etc. without it?
Daniel writes, how about they manage their money better? Cut the wasteful spending and unnecessary spending.
From JC, I think we should keep it. Come the end of the year, the new property tax measure is going to pass.
And from Shane, I thought the penny is no longer being made, so this makes the tax void in my eyes.
We want to know what you think. Scan the QR code. We'll pop it up there on your screen, and you can answer this question. Are you voting to renew the local option 1-cent sales tax this November? You can also find that question on our website if you'd rather go that way, and we will share the results with you tomorrow morning.
Everybody's talking about the Blue Angels Air Show today, practice, and then the big show Saturday. And we're talking about how hot it's going to be.
Yeah, Brooke, we're always reminded at these shows to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Let's talk about how crucial that's going to be for the next few days.
Yeah, it's going to be very important, especially if you're going to be out there for a long period of time. And you can see we have a lot of people already packing Pensacola Beach. You can see the parking lot getting a little bit more full. We're already seeing tents set up. And you've got a long time to wait before the Blues fly this afternoon. So this is that time of year where we're seeing temperatures quickly getting into the 80s, the 90s, feeling like the triple digits. So if you are going to be out on the beach for a prolonged period of time, have the water, lots of it with you. Stay hydrated, especially if you're going to be out in that heat for a decent amount of time. You can see your radar right now. It's looking nice and dry. Lots of sunshine for you. Weather overall nice, just hot. You have the 70s currently, 76 to about 80 degrees, already getting into the 80s along the coastline, and we should be seeing the 90s, mid-90s by this afternoon. Winds are going to be fairly calm, coming in mainly out of the north this morning. We're seeing a very light breeze for you. We will be watching a few passing clouds as you head into your afternoon, and really just watching temperatures rise into the 90s, 95 degrees for your high today. If you're heading out on Friday, 97, 95 again on Saturday. We are going to watch about a 40% chance of rain for that Saturday.
We've been keeping an eye on the Escambia Bay Bridge throughout the morning. If you've been with us, you already know there was a vehicle fire in the midnight hours. Now we know from the Florida Highway Patrol that happened a little before 12:30 a.m. and that fire, they say, was so hot it caused damage to the concrete barrier of the bridge. That's why the cleanup is taking so long and traffic is still slow. The truck driver, a 35-year-old from Mexico, was not injured, but if this is part of your morning commute, you might want to find another way around. Those are the eastbound lanes.
A teenager was killed in a crash in Santa Rosa County. 22-year-old Dylan Barnhill is now charged with DUI manslaughter.
The crash was Wednesday about 1:45 a.m. on Munson Highway. Barnhill, troopers say, was traveling south in a pickup truck when the vehicle left the road and hit a tree. His 17-year-old passenger was ejected and pronounced dead there at the scene. Barnhill had minor injuries, and they say additional charges are pending.
It's day number 5 of continued strikes with Iran after the U.S. reinstated the blockade of Iranian ports.
CENTCOM is saying the U.S. fired at an oil tanker that was attempting to violate the blockade. ABC News citing multiple sources as they report that the president met with top officials this week to talk about ways to expand military action against Iran, including more locations to bomb.
The president said yesterday that Iran wants to settle the war. Overnight, he revealed on social media Iran released an American citizen who was wrongfully detained while President Biden was in office, called it a gesture of goodwill.
As for oil prices, the president insists they will come down when the conflict ends. Right now, Gas Buddy is pegging the national average at about $3.93 a gallon. That is up 5 cents from yesterday.
Advertisements, well, they're everywhere on everything. But with rapidly expanding technology, they're taking on a new, different, and exciting form. And now, a little something special for your iPhone.
And farmers, so many challenges, but getting creative. A lot of them are reimagining their revenue streams. By taking a dip in the tourism pond, some struggling farms may be able to stay afloat. You stay here.
Yeah. But before we go away, we encourage you to grab your cup and have a sip of your morning elixir, coffee, I would hope. Little debate here in the Morning Curd studio about what kind of digital map you like to use. Apple Map, Google, was it Waze is lots of fun.
Yeah, but that's it. It's so interesting. Everybody has their devotees, but if you're an Apple Maps fan, get ready for some helpful advertisements that are going to start running in the app sometime this year.
Yeah, they announced map ads earlier this year, and the ads will be available to any business with a physical location and a business listing on Apple Maps.
Users will see the ads next to the relevant search results. Apple says it'll only show one ad at a time. Company says it'll be clearly marked with a small blue halo around the pin on the map, like, you know, Eat at Joe's on your way to wherever you're going.
Well, they're saying this will be clearly marked, however, as an ad. So it's kind of like the ads that you see in the App Store, for example. And they insist that your interactions with these ads will not be associated with your Apple account. No personal data collected or stored by Apple, and not shared with third parties.
Do we believe that?
Of course we do.
Of course we do.
Apple published policies for advertiser. It bans businesses that provide home services like plumbing, electrical, pest control, etc. And experts say it could be to keep results limited to physical locations that users can visit. It makes ads more feel like organic map listings.
Which is just, okay, never mind that completely is confusing compared to what they also said. But anyway, there are other banned ads in Apple Maps. You'll never see a crypto company advertising, nor a bail bond provider. And thank goodness, no politicians.
Well, all right. Thank you, Apple,
we'll
for
take
that. Thank you
right.
very much. You know, farmers make this country work, period.
It is such an amazing job, and there are so many challenges. The margins are a nightmare, and some families who have spent generations farming are now reinventing themselves just to survive.
How about it? It's called agritourism. Agritourism.
Yeah, it's the kind of activity that brings visitors to a working farm for recreation. It could be entertaining or educational, like picking your own fruits and vegetables, farm tours, corn mazes and hay rides, horseback riding, you know, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of local farms in Northwest Florida that are doing similar things, whether it be a fall festival or you pick your produce kind of things, or even farm experiences.
In Pennsylvania, Hellerich's family farm became Hellerich Adventure Farm.
I love it.
They started out as a roadside farm stand, evolved into a you-pick farm. 4 generations down the line, they offer a corn maze, zip lining, goat yoga, mini golf as well.
I love it.
Yeah, experts say it's a great way for farming families to create another revenue stream. And most farms already have the equipment for things like a corn maze.
I love that.
So why not?
It's an American thing, man. We've been doing Amazing America all year. There's very few things so Amazing America as our farmers.
There you go.
All right.
All of our stories, every last one of them, available where? At youtube.com. Go to YouTube, search out WEAR News. Our stories are there. You can watch them at your leisure.
Coming up, a new test military men can expect when they go in for their next health screening. They're testing the T. I guess you just have to say it that way. We'll talk about who will get the test and why the Defense Secretary says this is a really good thing to keep our troops healthy and ready.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has a new program to screen troops for low testosterone.
Yeah, Hegseth says he wants to make sure that troops have the right testosterone levels to operate at their absolute best. So this test is going to become a part of the annual health screenings for troops who are 30 and older.
Now, your younger troops can volunteer to be tested, and any treatment would be up to the individual. Doctors say low T can contribute to fatigue, reduced muscle strength, impaired concentration, and decreased endurance.
We're learning more and more about the power of hormones. Now, the Pentagon did not say whether female troops would be offered similar hormone screenings.
In the latest push, he says he's trying to reshape soldiers' health and fitness down the line, ordering tougher fitness testing and daily physical training.
The Powerball jackpot is growing again. No
jackpot winner in last night's drawing. Top prize now, $526 million. You'll take home $233.5 million. 0.5, get it in there.
I'll make sure. That's $500,000. I'll get it in there. Yeah. The next drawing for that is Saturday night. Then you got your Mega Millions drawing tomorrow night with a jackpot of $672 million. The cash option there is $293.3 million. Of course, we'll have the winning numbers for you on WEAR News at.
There we go. It is 7:47. Good morning. So glad you're with us for the Morning Current. And during this time, we'd like to go places and show you what's going on in the rest of the country. And this
one's going to make you feel good about where we are this morning. You know, earlier we were talking about the terrible flooding in Texas. I think what they said was they've had half a year's rain in some places in the last few days. This is a live shot right now from San Antonio, where crews are trying to deal with flooded roads. Lots of rescues have been made, and certainly we are wishing them the best. That's not something you want to wake up to.
No, but here in Northwest Florida, it is beyond hot, right?
Yeah,
it's going to be.
Yeah, very hot. And you know, we've been watching that beach camera all morning. People are getting out there nice and early, excited to see the Blues this afternoon. Hopefully the camera works with us. It's been a little sleepy this morning, but if you were able to see the camera, oh, it's gone now, you would be able to see the parking lot. A lot of people already out there, and they're going to have a long time to wait in that heat, and that's going to be the one thing you want to pay attention to heading into the next couple of days. If you're going to go see the Blues, have a nice, fun, safe time, but make sure you're hydrating. Make sure you are taking breaks in the shade. You have a way to cool off because it is going to get very hot. Not feeling it right now, but you will certainly feel it in the next, give it an hour or so. You're going to be feeling those 80s and 90s. Heading into your afternoon today, we'll have lots of sunshine, little chance of some pop-up showers, but it does look isolated. We're going to keep your rain chances very low on Friday. You'll have lots of sunshine again. You're going to be seeing some nice weather for the Blues again. And then Saturday, a rain chance does come in. It does look later into the day, though. After about 3 p.m. is where we'll see some showers, some thunderstorms, some heavy pockets with some lightning there could be possible. So later into that day, going into your evening, is where we are seeing that 40% chance of rain. And we'll keep a 40% chance on your Sunday as well. So we'll watch for that chance of rain building in for Sunday as well. So overall, decent forecast for the Blues, very typical of what we normally see. And the main thing is the heat, 90s. That's what we're seeing today. That's what we're going to see Friday, Saturday, and we'll be in the mid-90s, partly cloudy skies on Friday, isolated rain chance moving in to that Saturday. Let's talk about those temperatures now. 70s, 80s right now. Highs will get into the mid-90s, and it is going to feel like 100. 98 to about 100 degrees is what we'll feel like this afternoon. Heading into your Friday, it could feel all the way up to about 107. So extremely hot out there as you head into that Friday. Again, have a way to cool off. This is still 6 p.m., so we are going into the evening, and it could still feel like 100 degrees. So that's why we want to make sure we have all of those ways to cool off as you are heading to see the Blue Angels again. Have a fun and safe time out there. Let's talk about the tropics now. 2 areas we're watching, both with a low chance of formation. The one that's closer to us, we're expecting a low to form just off the coast of the Florida Big Bend and then move towards the northeast, most likely just bringing some very heavy rain to parts of northeast Florida. But we are going to be watching about a 20% chance of some gradual tropical development as it makes that trek. As for this area off the coast of Africa, 10% chance of formation over the next 48 to week. So that's what we're going to be watching moving further down the line. Again, low formation chances there. Let's take a look at your week ahead. It is looking nice and hot for the Blue Angels. Once again, enjoy it, but stay safe. We will be looking at your temperatures in the mid-90s, feeling like the triple digits, mid-90s heading into next week.
We do have one issue continuing this morning. It's been this way for quite some time. On the Escambia Bay Bridge, the eastbound lanes, there's a big rig crash about 12:30 in the morning this morning. The fire's so hot, they say it did cause some problems for the concrete barrier. The traffic is still very, very slow while they're doing cleanup efforts. We understand the truck driver, a 35-year-old, was not injured. If this is part of your morning drive, be prepared to have a slow go or simply find another way.
Stay with us on the Morning Current. You've heard of firefighters helping cats get down to a tree, but really, there's no limit on their rescuing skills. We'll show you the other guy that needed a little assist.
All right, we love animals here, so we have a couple of animal rescues making their rounds, and the first happened in Philadelphia Monday.
Firefighters had to rescue a golden retriever named Bentley from a tree. He got way up there. I'm not even sure how he got there. Neither do the firefighters. They don't know. But apparently there was a lot of heavy brush in the area.
Hey, they got him down with a big old ladder, and apparently Bentley, the dog, is doing fine.
That's a good one. Okay, but we have number 2.
Here we go. A bird had some help from firefighters in Oakland, California. After they put out a vehicle fire, they said a pigeon approached them in distress. A pigeon.
That's so sad. The officials say the bird appeared to have suffered smoke inhalation, and so they gave it oxygen. It was a little oxygen
so it's really actually kind of cool. Sometimes it does seem like the wild animals know to come for help. Anyway, the bird ended up flying away, living happily ever after, but more than 7 million people have checked out the clip from the fire department's Instagram, so I guess everybody went home happy.
If you want some laughs, look up pigeons' nests. They're notoriously bad for building nests. It'll be like one twig and an egg. It's really funny.
All right. We'll do that some other time. Right now, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
Thanks for all the great shots from Breakfast with the Blues yesterday. Oh gosh, thank you, Vanessa. Taking that banner out of the way so we can see this one from Matthew Edmondson. Wonderful stuff. We appreciate you sharing. I believe that was the moment as we see the low pass and all the beach equipment flying, but it almost sounds like people are applauding some of them.
Angie Carruthers, thank you very much for your pictures from the Breakfast with the Blues, sitting out there in the sand enjoying the show.
One of the calmer moments. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on The Morning Current. Of course, we have that breaking news out of Pensacola Police and the investigation into Philip Shepard's murder at the Oakwood Terrace apartment. So we will keep you posted on all of those developments on air and online.
Thank you.